Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. Continuing with our discussions based upon the Quran and the Sunnah, as the best speech is the speech of Allah and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And today we will talk about something that relates to all of us, because we all have relationships with people around us. And the topic is fake friends or real enemies versus your sincere brother, your sincere sister. Because as it comes to the relationships that we have, the person will be either a sincere friend, a brother, a sister that loves us for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, or secondly, a fake friend, only interested in their personal interests and agendas. And the third category of people, enemies. And brotherhood is something that is very important. Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are but brothers. There is a bond that is special, that can't be bought. It is something that is given by Allah Azza wa Jal. And the bond is because of Iman, faith. The statement, La ilaha illallah, it revolves around the statement, none has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. It does not matter about color, lineage, wealth, fame, or anything else from the worldly affairs. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. The believers are but brothers. And the companions demonstrated that this is more precious than money. Umar radiallahu anhu used to say, Abu Bakr is our leader and he freed our leader, meaning Bilal radiallahu anhu. This brotherhood that they had was more than money, more precious than gold and silver, more precious than any worldly commodity or affair. An honest brother, an honest sister, loving for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, aiding for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, advising for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, defending for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we find from the Salaf that they would make dua, some of them, for a righteous friend, a righteous companion. Alqama, he said, as we find in Al-Bukhari, Allahumma yassir li jalisan saliha. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to find a righteous friend, a righteous companion, someone who is honest, that loves me for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, that will benefit me in the dunya and benefit me more importantly in the akhirah. Allahumma yassir li jalisan saliha. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to find a righteous companion. And this topic, Hafidhakum Allah, will be based upon a passage from Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah in Majmu' al-Fatawa. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he discusses the different categories of relationships. Yes, fake friends is one. Secondly, you have enemies. Thirdly, true, honest, sincere friends. And the last category is when people love one another for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. And he said, فَأَسْتِقَاءَ الْإِنسَانِ يُحِبُّونَ اسْتِخْدَامُ وَاسْتِعْمَالُ فِي أَغْرَاضِهِمْ. He said a person's friends, and these are superficial friends, they love to use him or her and benefit from him or her in their selfish interests and motives. حَتَّى يَكُونَ كَالْعَبْدِ لَهُمْ. Until in reality they are like a slave to them, subservient to them. That's fake friends. Just want to use you and abuse you. He said, وَأَعْدَاؤُهُ يَسْعَوْنَ فِي أَذَاهِ. And the enemies, they strive to harm the person. They strive to harm the individual. He said, وَأُولَٰئِكَ يَطْلُبُونَ مِنْهُ اتِّفَاعَهُمْ. So the fake friends, they only want to benefit from the person, even if it harms their religion and corrupts the person's religion. لَا يُفَكِّرُونَ فِي ذَلِكَ. They care less about that, and very few of them are grateful. Then Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he said, فَالطَّائِفَتَانِ فِي الْحَقِيقَةِ. The two groups, fake friends and enemies, do not intend to benefit the individual or repel any harm. Rather, they are only concerned about their own interests. And how do you escape that? How do we escape that, brothers and sisters? He said, فَإِن لَمْ يَكُنِ الْإِنسَانِ عَابِدًا لِلَّهِ مُتَوَكِّلًا عَلَيْهِ مُوَالِيًا لَهُ وَمُوَالِيًا فِيهِ وَمُعَادِيًا وَإِلَّا أَكَلَتْهُ الطَّائِفَتَانِ. He says, so if the person is not a slave to Allah, placing their reliance and trust in Allah alone, having allegiance for Him and loving for His sake and hating for His sake, if they are not like this, then they will be devoured by these two groups, the fake friends and the enemies. And this will lead to the individual's destruction in this life and the next. And then Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he actually concluded that fake friends are even more harmful than enemies, because fake friends, if their interests are not fulfilled, then they become enemies. فَدَخَلَ بِذَلِكَ عَلَيْهِ الْأَذَى مِنْ جِهَتَيْنِ. And therefore, the person is harmed by them in two ways. First, they abandon the person that was meant to be their friend, cut them off. So they end up cutting you off, the fake friend. And secondly, وَمِن جِهَةِ عَدَاوَتِهِمْ, now they display enmity towards a person that was meant to be their friend. And he said, وَعَدَاوَتُهُمْ أَشَدُّ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ عَدَاوَةِ أَعْدَائِهِ. And the enmity of these fake friends who became enemies is worse than the enmity of the original enemies, because these individuals who are fake friends are familiar with the person and they know things that the enemy did not know. So they now try and incite others to direct enmity to the person. So the enmity is multiplied. And he discusses this in more detail. How do we escape this? How do we escape fake friends? How do we escape the enemies? The individual is a slave to Allah. A slave to Allah, placing their trust and reliance in Allah, loving for Allah and hating for Allah. When you have this relationship with others that you love them, your brother or your sister for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, then you are going to be honest to them because you love them for Allah. It's not based upon any worldly agenda, what you can get or what you can't get. When we have these type of relationships, we will never be disappointed. When we do things and we do them for Allah, you can never be disappointed. You can never be let down. Success is granted by Allah Azza wa Jal. If you have this type of relationship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, highlighting that true brotherhood, true sisterhood, based around loving for Allah Azza wa Jal, is more precious than the treasures of this earth. It cannot be bought. Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, true friends. Allah Azza wa Jal, He said, وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Allah united their hearts. لو أنفقت ما في الأرض جميعا ما ألفت بين قلوبهم. If you spent everything in the earth, you would have not been able to join their hearts. ولكن الله ألف بينهم. But Allah united their hearts. Allah joined their hearts. إنه عزيز حكيم. Indeed, Allah is the Almighty, the All-Wise. True brotherhood, true sisterhood. Can't be bought. When you have that, alhamdulillah, you will see the benefit in your life. You will see the benefit in the community. You will see the benefit in the ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all success. وجزاكم الله خيرا.